Amsterdam, St. Nicholas. It devotes itself in particular to the vulnerable people in the city and has a key role for the inhabitants of the inner city.
À droite, vous pourrez voir la basilique Saint-Nicolas.
Voor te stellen dat hier in de 17e eeuw grote bedrijvigheid heerste bij het laden en lossen van de schepen van de West- en Oost-Indische compagnieën die hier zij aan zij lagen. This wide body of water, the Oosterdock or Eastern Dock, was originally part of the harbour. It is difficult to imagine the hustle and bustle that was prevalent here in the 17th century, with loading and unloading of the ships of the Dutch West and East India companies, docked here, side by side.
Cette grande étendue d'eau,
You can see a floating Chinese restaurant. It is a copy of a famous restaurant in Hong Kong called Jumbo. However, Jumbo boasts 5,000 seats, whereas the Sea Palace only has 700.
Cette pagode flottante est un restaurant chinois. C'est la copie d'un fameux restaurant de Hong Kong qui s'appelle Jumbo. Mais alors que Jumbo a 5000 places assises, le Sea Palace n'en a que 700.
Links het bijzondere bibliotheekgebouw, gebouwd in 2007 en ontworpen door Jo Koenen. Door velen uitgeroepen als een van de mooiste moderne bibliotheken van Europa.
To your left is the exceptional library building designed by Joe Coonan and constructed in 2007, declared by many to be one of the most beautiful libraries of Europe.
Met Amsterdam-Noord.
On your left, you can see the Nemo Science Museum, designed by the famous architect Renzo Piano. It looks like a ship, but it is meant to be a reflection of the Eye Tunnel. The Nemo was built on the entrance to the Eye Tunnel, connecting the center of the city with Amsterdam North.
Geruime tijd onzuiver liep.
To your right, we can see the Montalbaanstoren, an old defense tower. The bottom part of the tower dates back to the 15th century, while the top part was built onto it in the 17th century. In the past, the tower had the nickname Malayabi, or Silly Jake, because the clock was off for a considerable time.
Vous apercevez à droite la Montalbaanstoren, une ancienne tour de fortification dont les soubassements datent du XVe siècle, tandis que la partie supérieure a été mise en place au XVIIe siècle. La tour portait jadis le nom de Malejap, ce qui en néerlandais renvoie à une personne à l'esprit dérangé, car l'horloge a très mal fonctionné.
The canal we are sailing now is called Ouderschans, or Old Ramp, yet another of the old defensive canals of the city. In the past, the city walls were on your right-hand side. Amsterdam was facing a major housing shortage, forcing people to live on boats in the past. Some of these boats we see moored in this area. These days, the situation is very different. Houseboats are highly sought after nowadays. All of the houseboats are connected to all of the facilities. People are willing to pay considerable amounts for these floating houses. Skinny Bridge we see ahead of us now is one of the oldest bridges in the city. This bridge, that was constructed in the early 17th century, commemorates the even narrower bridge that was located getting to the Herengracht, or Gentleman's Canal. This canal was dug in the 17th century. The canal houses here are the largest and most beautiful in Amsterdam.
Nous arrivons maintenant dans le Herengracht, ou littéralement le canal des seigneurs. Ce canal a été creusé au XVIIe siècle. C'est le long de ce canal que l'on trouve les plus grandes et les plus belles maisons d'Amsterdam.
Als we verhuizen, alles door het raam naar buiten en naar binnen.
Have a look at the facades of the houses you can see on the left and right of us. Here are many kinds facades. But the most common are the stepped gable, the bell gable, the neck gable, the frame gable, and the spout or funnel gable. You can see that each house has a hoisting beam high on the facade. As doors and stairs in houses in Amsterdam are very narrow, moving is usually done using the windows. You will see one of the narrowest houses in Amsterdam. In the early days, it was smart to build the narrowest facade possible, as taxes.
À droite, vous pouvez voir l'une des maisons les plus étroites d'Amsterdam. Autrefois,
Geregeld auto's te warten.
in many places, you will see low railings along the canals. Parking on the canals isn't completely risk-free. These railings were installed in the 60s because cars were driven into the canals almost every day. To this day, cars end up in the canals on a regular basis.
Les gardes
You can see the Bartolotti house. This house was named after the rich banker Bartolotti and was designed by Heinrich de Kaiser. It is a very exceptional building as it was built completely symmetrical to the curve of the canal.
à gauche, vous voyez la Bartolotti House. La maison porte le nom du riche banquier Bartolotti et a été conçue par Heinrich de Kaiser. C'est un bâtiment particulier car il a été construit de manière parfaitement symétrique dans la courbe du canal.
To your left, you can see the Rode Hood, the Red Hat. Previously, this was the largest clandestine church in the Netherlands, and it currently serves as a debating center.
Vous voyez à gauche le Rode Hood, chapeau rouge. C'était autrefois la plus grande église servant de refuge des Pays-Bas et elle est aujourd'hui utilisée comme centre de débat.
At numbers 14 to 44, you can see the so-called Greenlandic warehouses. These warehouses are some of the oldest, most beautiful warehouses in the city. They were probably built in 1622 to store whale oil for the Northern Company. All of these warehouses have now been converted into apartments.
à gauche, au numéro 40 à 44, vous voyez ce qu'on appelle les entrepôts du Groenland. Ils comptent parmi les plus beaux et les plus anciens entrepôts d'Amsterdam.
Interesting for you to know that we have over 1,800 bridges here in Amsterdam. The canals are about 3 meters or 10 feet deep. The first canals were dug in the 13th century for the transfer of goods. Every time the city increased in size, more canals were dug around the center and heading toward the Sluis, one of the 16 former sea locks in Amsterdam.
Nous arrivons
Many residents of Amsterdam have bicycles. Cycling is one of the fastest ways to travel across the city. That is why you can see so many bikes parked everywhere. It is one of the major parking problems in Amsterdam. Every day, the municipality removes hundreds that have been parked improperly. Amsterdam has more bicycles than residents.
de nombreux Amsterdamois possèdent un vélo. Le vélo est l'un des moyens de transport.
We are now approaching an exceptionally beautiful spot. On our left side, we can see the 7 arched bridges of the Reguliers Canal in a row.
Nous approchons d'un des clous de notre périple. À gauche, vous voyez les...
The house with the balcony and the marble pillars is the official residence of the Mayor of Amsterdam.
À gauche, la maison portant le numéro 502, avec le balcon et les colonnes en marbre, est la résidence officielle du bourgmestre d'Amsterdam.
We are now sailing the Houden Bocht, or Golden Bend, where the richest merchants used to live in the 17th century. People who had made it big in this powerful trading town obviously had to show it. Their houses have extra large doors and small upper windows. This would make the buildings look even larger and higher. These houses are now used as banks, office buildings and consulates. In the past, a single family would have lived there. The door underneath the stairs was strictly for the use of staff members. Village here. To your right, you can see one of the narrowest canals in Amsterdam, the Bowling Sloot. The interesting thing is that these houses are directly on the water.